Wolfmaan, and I'm here today in beautiful Killarney Provincial Park in Ontario, Canada. First step of the trip is to come into the registration office. Now we'll find that when you go to take registration, if just leaving your car here, even though that we're going to be leaving Killarney Park, will cost me almost $100 for 7 days. It's $14 a day. That's Ontario Parks. The money does go for a good cause, and it is definitely worth it. All the money goes to help support the buildings, help build new baths, take care of things around us. Because we're going to be near water for the next 7 days, as you can see, we have a little life jacket here connected to Luca. That way if she falls out of the boat, or there's a heavy current, or we get washed over and she has a long swim to shore, she's not going to go under the waves. So I made the canoe crossing over Collins Inlet behind me to this absolutely beautiful island. So I have myself a beautiful little fire here, and as you can see behind me, it's absolutely gorgeous. The best part about this island is that it's completely free to camp on. This island falls under Crown land in Ontario, Canada. Now just across the inlet there is Killarney Provincial Park, where you have to pay anywhere between $14 and $20 a night, depending on where you stay. But this is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful here. So this is day 2 of the Collins Inlet expedition. Woke up this morning, 30km/h plus winds and a wind advisory in effect. So at the moment we're trapped on a deserted island. I have to admit I am cold, wet and miserable. Not too much unlike the Bruce Trail expedition I undertook in 2009. So at some point in the past somebody left this old tarp out here. It's really hard material, and the whole plan was to make it into a bit of a shelter. Now it's the only thing that separated me from all the wind that's been hitting us. So what I did is I just took some old branches and some deadfall that I found laying around, propped it up. And when I get down here inside this, I'm completely out of the wind. I was able to cook, I was able to eat, I was able to do everything that I needed to do in here. Now I'm not actually sure where this tarp came from, but it says, "Not for public use violators will be prosecuted." As well as the not for public use, there was some other markings on the tent, although I couldn't really quite figure out what those tarp markings were. My guess is that this was probably from a flatbed tractor trailer or something like that, as the tarp seems like it's a little bit significantly longer than it was wide. So today is Sunday, it's day 3 of our expedition, and day 3 of hanging out in the tent. It's been so windy outside and so miserable and cold that that's really basically all we've been able to do is just hang around. I've been listening to my iPod most of the day. So after 4 days of being trapped on South Point Island, I think today it's time to go. Now the wind behind me is still roaring at about 40-45 kilometers an hour. The water out in the channel is still white capping, but I just can't stay here forever. I'm really nervous about taking the challenge, about going across. I'm nervous about flipping the boat over in this frigid water. It's a freezing cold morning. Just getting my blue food barrel down. My fingers, they got so cold out there on the ropes. So I think we're going to head out this morning, and Luca and I are going to go into that channel, try to at least get back to the car. I got my life jacket on, I got the canoe loaded up, paddle in hand. I'm ready to shove off and hit the mainland. Hopefully this won't be the last time you hear from me, because I'd really like to see you all again. So we made it across the inlet okay. We'll scan to see the coastline right where we're near. I have to say I'm pretty happy about that. No errors, no problems, and most importantly, no tipping. We finally made it back to shore after getting stranded on that stupid island for a few days. Pretty happy about that. So the trip itself was kind of a bust. I ended up getting trapped on that little island for a couple of days, which was really frustrating. I'd planned this trip to be really great, to go and see some petroglyphs, to go and see Collins in the ghost town, to go and see some old shipwrecks, frequent waters that pirates were once in and patrolled by the British Royal Navy. It's always frustrating when things don't go to plan. But yeah, other than that, I mean, being out in this wilderness is always a pleasure. It's always a lot of fun, but I didn't quite go where I wanted to go. But that's alright.
Well, it's wonderful living the life of a pirate with the freedom to take what we can. And we'll sail the world over, searching for plunder, not fearing to face any man. Not fearing to face any man.